Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Saturday, which means tomorrow, Sunday, is the weekly close. Let's take a look at some weekly candles and see exactly where they're going to close. And looking at Filecoin here, most people look at this and they say it's bearish, right? Because you have this ugly head and shoulders pattern. So from the untrained eye, yeah, it looks bad. But what I think here is going on is a three-wave move, right? So you have three waves up, and now you have three waves down. All right. And the idea here is to get, obviously, we want this complete 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5. So we're still working on the bottom here. But ultimately, right, after we get 3 up, 3 down, you want to look for 3 up or 5 up, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And basically what you have is a three-wave move. Boom, boom, boom. So that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm looking for. The reason why is because we need a retracement. You could see these are the retrace levels up in here, right? And typically you have a retracement. So you had a big crash, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then you have 1, 2. Let's see if we get a three-wave pullback. A three-wave pullback back into these retracement levels. You can say, well, show me an example of that happening. Well, if you look at XLM, you could see something very similar happened. Extremely similar, right? So what we had here was three waves up, and then we had three waves down. And if you remember, all through this, I was talking, well, my channel was October of 23. So I've been doing it over a year. And basically during that time, we were right somewhere in here, right? So, you know, for me, when we have three waves up and you get three waves down, right? And then we had this impulse and then we flagged out. That's the important part. Getting the impulse and then flagging out. And then we exploded to the upside, right? So if we look at them side by side, you can see very similar, right? So you have, let's do this. So you come down, right? You come down, you make this little consolidation area right in there, right? And then you slam down, Okay, so far so good. And then you go 1, 2, 3 up. That's exactly what we did. 1, 2, 3 up. And then we came down in 3. 1, 2, 3, back down. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, back down. Right? And then now what we want to see here is an impulse and then flag out. We want to see an impulse and flag out. And then we want to see this thing rip to the upside. And that's what I believe will happen. So it might take some time. You can see they're shaped a little bit differently, right? This three-wave pullback looks a little bit more bullish here. It's got a different type of posture. Where Filecoin is like very dramatic, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, right? So yeah, I think we should be expecting a move to the upside pretty soon here. So if we look at HBAR now, and we look right here, look at HBAR. HBAR is exploding, and I wish I would have freaking bought more. I mean, dang. I mean, these are the ones that I was looking at, and I'm like, it'll pull back. I didn't buy it. It'll pull back. I didn't buy it. You know, like we got up here, and I'm like, I want to see a pullback. Kept going up. Want to see a pullback. Kept going up. You know, so it's kind of like one of those things where do you chase it or you let it go. I pretty much want to show you this three-way pullback, kind of side by side here. You could see, right? We got a three-way move. This is more of a flat structure, but it's the same thing. Yeah, this is XLM. Actually, let's go to XLM on the current time frame here. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so essentially this is what we're looking at here, right? You got this nice three-way pullback, three-wave pullback, right? And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down in the wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in A, 3 in B, and 5 in C, right? So everything's pretty much the same. So now we're starting to see this impulse in here, right? So let's get the impulse and then let's flag out. Let's get the impulse and let's flag out and then let's go up. And once we get that flag, if we get the flag, right, we might not get it. It could be just a big pump where it doesn't let you in, right? So that's why you want at least a little bit of exposure. Don't always count on it coming back and retesting the low. I mean, more times than not, it does, right? So, anyways, I just wanted to show a little bit of that. So, but that's not even the best part. The best part is we got a 5-wave move off the low, guys. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Remember when we were in here, right? Back over here, when we made the video, back over here, right? Said it was a little bit scary, but basically when we come down and we come up, we drizzle, 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 drizzle. And I basically said over and over, most of the time, you know, you're going to come back 50% of the wick, or even come back and revisit the wick, or even some cases go below it, right? But it's designed to get you out of the market, right? It's all time, right? Remember, they had the low, they came up, but now they're coming down to retest the low. And during the retest is where people feel the pain, right? Basically what we said was we want to see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got it. We got 5 waves. Perfect. And then from there, it wasn't over because that 5-wave move could have turned into a 3-way pullback. But it didn't. Well, it didn't so far. So, you know, it could still do that, right? This could be a 3-wave move in the making. But so far, it's good. Why? Because that's exactly what we wanted, which is a 5-wave move off the low. Because it could have been a descending triangle, an inverse head and shoulders, ascending triangle, could be Wyckoff, it could be creating a base, right? But the fact that it gave us a 5-wave move off the low is really, really good. So you could see very clearly. I mean, this is perfect. Look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. And then you got 3-wave pullback. You got another 3 up. So maybe we get another 3. Right? And it could be even more complex than that. It could be a bigger 3, right? Before we go back up. So we got the 5-wave move off the low, but not just XLM. Let's go to XRP here. XRP, we also have a 5-wave move off the low. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, this is exactly what we wanted to see, right? So we have the bullish divergence. You know, we have, let's go up to the 1 hour. Yeah, so we have the bullish divergence here, right? We have 5 waves. We have divergence between the 3rd and the 5th. And we have a 5-wave impulse off the low. So, I mean, this is setting up for a major reversal. Potentially, right? Not financial advice. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe we go down. We keep going down and down and down and down. But I don't think so. I think this is the low. I think we're right there. Again, you can look at this as an impulse, A, B, C. Okay, so if this is a C wave, we need 5. Well, we got 5. Oh, we need divergence. Well, we got divergence. Well, we need 5 waves off the low. We got 5 waves off the low. So what else do we need? We need a 3-way pullback, and that's exactly what we're getting now. So this could be a 3-way pullback. Maybe that was the 3-way pullback. I'd like to see a move like that. And then maybe by Monday, Tuesday, let's see, what is that at? No, actually Sunday. By Sunday, this should be complete. And then by Monday, we should be kind of like that. And then by Monday, Tuesday, we should be hopefully going higher. So we'll see. Unless we're going to do some kind of base in here where we have 5 up, maybe we get 3 down, right? Then we get another 5 up, which means that's 5, 3, 5, which means it's 3. And then we get another 3 down, right? And then we go up and get 5. And we create this big base down in here. And it could be a Wyckoff situation where you come and you snag the low and then go up. So this is called the bottoming process. Just, this was a bottom, this was a bottom, and maybe even over here is a bottom. So you have 3 different bottoms, right, that could potentially come out of this. So, it is what it is, right? So at the very least, when you get 5 waves in any direction, you want to see 3 waves. So something like that. So if we get something like that, then it's probably going to go back down again, right? But that's why we don't want that. We want 5, 3, and then 5, and then 3, and then 5. We want to get out of there. So the first thing is we got to retrace this wave. But before we do that, we got to create a real bottom here. And I think that's what we're doing now. So I think we're at the bottom of the barrel, guys. And I think these are extraordinary buying opportunities. So, yeah, let's look at Monero. Look at Monero. Monero didn't quite get a 5-wave move off the low. Let me see. It didn't. I mean, you could say 1, 2, 3, and then this is 4, and then maybe we get a 5 here, or it's a truncated 5. I think Monero needs a little bit of work. You got the divergence, you come up, let's flag out, and then kind of work your way out of there. Maybe create some kind of base in here, maybe like a little bit of a Wyckoff schematic 1 example. But yeah, I mean, it's still very bullish. I mean, you get 3 down, you got 3 up, you got 3 back down, and then you have a 1, 2, and then you have another 1, 2. So this could be gearing up for a massive wave 3 breakout. Or you have this being some kind of flat in here. But the flat could have ended here, but then it came up and now it ended here. So maybe it's a bigger flat. Or maybe it's not even finished and we got to come even lower. I don't think so, though. Because if we look at Bitcoin, guys. And I figured this was going to happen. Let's zoom in here. Look how nice that looks, right? We had all of this. I think there was divergence in here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You had triple bullish divergence. Well, not quite because that one took the low, but it's pretty much there. Let's see. Let's go up to the 2 hour. Is it there? Let's see. 3 hour. Yeah, there we go. So now that's how you know when you have more unison in the RSI. So the 3 hour chart is a good chart, like right there. So let's see, 4 hour chart. Same thing with the 4 hour chart. You have triple bullish divergence on the 4 hour chart. I mean, you can't get any better than that, right? All right, so let's go back down to the 15-minute chart, and you can see very clearly, right? Boom, boom, boom. What happened after that? Well, when we were in the thick of it all through here, I said what we want to look for once this thing bottoms is a 5-wave move off the low. And that's exactly what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So a lot of times it could be like an A, B, and a C. We can come all the way back down. I mean, this thing can be like, it could be really big and it can come all the way back down if it wanted to before exploding up. Basically, you hit the low, quickly come back up, drizzle, 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 make you think, panic, 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 and then take you up, right? So there's different ways it can go about doing it. But I really like what I'm seeing here. This is really good. right? Because remember, what are we looking at here? At the end of the day, we're looking at a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then we have 1, 2, all of that's 3, and then we have A, B, C, 4, right? So now we're looking for a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're working in this ABC here, right? So kind of like this, right? That was an expanded flat ABC. Or we have 3 down, right? We have 3 up, and then we have 5 down. That was also an ABC. It was a little bit different, but more complicated. So if we look at the examples brought to you by BCB, right? I love his fractals. Check this out. I mean, this is kind of where we are. So someone said, well, we'll probably go back and revisit the low. But look over here. This example we never did. We shot all the way down, and we instantly came all the way up, and we finished the top. So we came down here. I mean, obviously, we're a little bit lower than where this screenshot was taken, but we're down here, right? And then what happens is we'll come all the way up and take out the top. If it's going to follow the fractal. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I mean, maybe we just get a retrace. But if you look at another example, which is even better, you could see this, right? And then we come down, we circle, come down, we circle, we break the low. Look what happened. We very quickly had a very fast V-bottom recovery. Very quick. So we could, if we see something like that, where we get back up to here, like what we've seen over here, it's going to be really, 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 really bullish. So we'll see how it plays out. Remember, this was a screenshot I took the other day, and I said, look, this is probably where we're going. We're going down to the 1618. And I didn't know if we were going to stop at the 1414. But since we broke the 1414, it was likely we would hit the 1618. So I just wish I had some. I just wish I got my my order in for HBAR. Ugh, that really makes me upset. But it's okay. We're still early. Still a lot of money to be made here. So all right. So for theta, it looks a little bit more sad. It looks a little bit more like it needs some help, right? So first of all, when you compare it to something like XLM or even HBAR or even ADA, you could see the difference, right? So first of all, you have a much more powerful impulse, and then you have a very beautiful three-way pullback. So you have an impulse, but look at the three-way pullback. It's really long and weak and stretched out, and you know what I mean? So the issue here is it's part of a bigger three-way pullback, right? It's part of a big flat. That's what it's doing. It's a big flat. So that goes all the way back to, you know, the beginning of 2024, and that puts you right around over here for XLM, right? So we went down, we went down, we went up, up, three-way pullback. So it's a completely different chart, right? So, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just going to take some time for it to get right, because let's see, do we have any, we have bullish divergence on the daily, and we have 5 waves, 1 2, or no, we have 3 waves, 1 2, and then we have 5 in C, so 1 2 3 4 5. So 3 5 3 3 5, which is an ABC. So now we're sitting down here, and we're kind of wicking off, right? We have a 3-way pullback down here. Let's zoom in. Yeah, and you could see, right? 1 2, and then 3. And then in this one we have 1 2 3. And in this one we have 1 2 3 4 5. So I think we're good. I don't think we're gonna have too much more. I don't see the 5-wave move I've seen with the others. Let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit. Actually, let's see. Is this 5 waves or is it 3 waves? I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks like it could be 5. It's a little bit challenging. I guess so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And we got this 3 here. Maybe we get a 3 there and then another 3 there and then go. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of shenanigans, right? I like how we took the low here. We barely took it, right? And then we got rejected. So, yeah, I think now, what do we want to see? Well, what could be happening here is maybe we're creating some kind of base, right, where we go up in 3, maybe come down to 3, and then maybe go up in 5 later on. There's a lot of different ways it could play out. Maybe we get like a head and then we get another shoulder, like some kind of inverse head and shoulders, and then we kind of break out. Maybe we get back up here and then we kind of create some kind of ascending triangle, then we break out, right? But if we take the low again, then I'm not going to really like it any. I mean, it's going to look a little weird. I mean, we could get one more slightly lower low like this and then kind of pull back up and then So it's still, there's a lot of questions about theta as far as how it's going to recover. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to look, but what I do know is that it will recover. I'm expecting it to recover. I'm expecting it to be, and since theta's gotten complete, think about this. Theta is $1.13. XRP is like, what is XRP? Is it 215, right? And theta is only 113. So it's $1 difference. But the all-time high for theta was $15. The all-time high for XRP was about 330. So completely different. But what I'm waiting for and what I'm looking for is a retracement of this wave right here. So if we take this to the 6-hour chart, there we go. We take a Fibonacci retracement line here, and we're going to go all the way down. I mean, I'm expecting at least, so this changes the rotation. So remember in the members video, we talked about the rotational strategy. This changes it, right? So it's actually there's actually even more percentage potential than there was before, right? So, I mean, I'm looking for theta to eventually get back up between $2 and $3. All right, so that's the goal, between $2 and $3. More so about like $2.50, right? So I'm waiting for $2.50 for theta. So how does this change now, right? So let's go back to this theta chart. So it's the big one here, and then we'll expand it here, right? And if we look closely, we could see the percentage from where we are now. Let's say we get all the way back to the top. Well, that in itself is about 190%, right? So let alone getting back into the higher retracements, that puts you at about, about 650%. So about a 6.5x move. And I think that's what theta is going to do, is about 6x from where it is here. Now, the question is, once we get up here, can we break out? Or do we have to go into reaccumulation and then break out later on? That I have no idea. We're all going to find out together, because theta had one of the biggest runs in the world. So if it's weak right now, you have to understand, look how freaking high this thing, this thing went insane. So it takes a long time for things to come to reality, right? Because before the normal, right? The normal for theta was 7 cents. That was the normal price, right? So people are adjusting to the new normals, right? So if you kind of look over here, you kind of see something similar, right? You got your base down in here, you got your base down in here, right? You got your extension, waiting for that extension, right? So this is kind of the area we're in. But if you look closely, you could see we had 3 here, 3 up, and then we had 3 back down. And then we went on this mega, mega, mega rally. So same thing here. We have 3 up, and then we have 3 back down. I've never shared that before. And then we have a big impulse to the upside. So this and this look pretty similar. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see, if I take a bars pattern and kind of overlay it to where we are here, you could see right here, look at this. So here's the bottom right here. And then here's the other bottom, right? So that's equivalent to this bottom here and then this bottom here, right? So this was C19, so that's why you see that coming below that. But look at this. What's interesting is from a time perspective. So I matched the low up perfectly with the fractal low, and you can kind of see, if you play with it a little bit, you can kind of see where we are here, right? So this big dump actually is right par for the course, right on time where it's supposed to be from a time perspective. I mean, we're kind of right where we need to be. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's pretty good here. So again, you got that little move up, you got a 3-way pullback, kind of revisit the low down in here. This one you could see actually took the low. That was C19 though, and then we came up. So we're right here at the bottom, right? And if you even want to compare that, you can even look kind of like with, let's see, yeah, we already looked at XLM, and there's also XRP. You can see, let me remove this. Could it be possible where here's your high, you come down, come back up, come back down, then up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then up, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go up, flag out, and then break out. Man, that would be completely brutal. That would be brutal. But that would be an A, a complex B, 1, 2, 3 for B, and then 5 down for C. That would suck. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully what it is again, you got 3 up, and then you got 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, right? So anyway, that's theta. Nothing really going on except we're right at the lows here. I mean, this is make it or break it, pretty much. So I think, we'll see. And I heard that there's supposed to be a crypto summit at the White House this coming week. So that could really boost up sentiment. Trump is going to talk about crypto next week. So they're supposed to have something going on at the White House involving crypto. I heard that on Tony Edwards' channel, Thinking Crypto. So go subscribe to Thinking Crypto YouTube channel, basically breaking the news of that. We'll see if it's true. I haven't heard anything else. But eventually we're going to see something crypto related at the White House where they're going to be talking about it. Hey, we're going to do this bill. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, right? Lay out the platform so that the investors can be like, okay, this is our game plan. This is what we should expect. And it's going to boost a lot of momentum, I think. And it's interesting that we're doing it right at the low. I mean, crypto's gotten beat up pretty aggressively, so probably Donald Trump's son, Don and Eric, hey, man, you got to come up and, or, hey, Dad, can you do something about crypto? My portfolio's hurting a little bit here. Let's get the ball rolling, right? So, but yeah, Theta still looks like it could be part of this W pattern here. So it's just a you know, same kind of Ethereum model style, very still much valid, right? So if we're gonna see 5 legs down, right, like we did here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Well, then we're gonna need 3 there, 3 there, and then we're gonna need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3. So this would be 5 down, and then we would get 3 up. So we're still not finished. That's why I don't think it's finished. I think even if we were going to crash and burn and go to 0, we still need to finish this 3-wave move before we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, like A, B, and then C, and then go. But I don't think it's going to be that severe. I think it would more likely, if anything, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then you have 3 up. And then you would get kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, but it's more like reaccumulation. So rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, then go. All right. So how high can we go? I'm still thinking like $8, $9, maybe even higher. You know, but I'm not going to even go there until we break this high. That is like the biggest thing. Like, I'm not even worried about up here. I want to see us break that. If we could break that, then it opens the door to this. But the only way we can break that this year is by successfully going into a retrace. See how we came down here? But look, see back over here, it was the same thing, right? We had 3 waves up, and then we had 3 waves down. Okay? And then we exploded to the upside. But it was not sustainable, right? So instead of flagging out like we wanted, we just came crashing back down, right? So we attempted to get through these retracement levels, right? We attempted to, but we couldn't do it. So we have another opportunity, right? But this time it's better, because now when we're going to be going up or retracing here, now we have a 3-wave move to build upon. So it's going to be a little bit stronger, right? Because we've established our floor, and then we establish another floor. That's what we want. That it'll give us more long-term sustainability. But we're not even close. I mean, we're close. We're really, really close. But we still need to. I mean, look how long we went sideways down here. Do we have to do that again before going up? I don't know. That's the thing. We'll have to see what the structure looks like. Hopefully, it's a quick reversal, like for example here, where we came down. Right around here. Let's see if I can just do this right there, and then go like that, and then just bring this over here. This is what I want to see. Something like this. Whoops, not like that. Like, there we go. So I want to see something like that. Let's see if we can push that a little bit higher. There we go. So something like this would be really, really good to see. Now, I don't think it's going to go straight up, right? I think we're going to get out here and flag a little bit. But yeah, and then in doing so, right? In doing so, you're going to create a W. You're going to create a W pattern, right? So, or you can even say a cup and handle. Let's get up here, right? Flag out, then break out. So what's the target? Well, I'm looking at $13 between, well, probably not that high. I'd say more around $8, $9, $10. But for sure, $5 to $6. I mean, that's the minimum that I want to see Theta this cycle, $5 to $6. I think that's easy. I think we could do it no problem. But the worst thing about this all is what? It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. We wake up in the morning, it's still down. You wake up in the morning, it's still down. And then next week it goes flying up. Everybody's excited. Then it pulls back, and then it's like it takes forever. And then it's just the way it goes, right? I mean, it's very time consuming. So, and to think of it, right? This is where we really started talking about Theta right here in October when it was 64 cents, right? And basically the idea back then was for it to go into a retrace. So do you count this three-way move as a retrace? Well, technically it is. It is a retrace, but I was expecting it to go a little bit higher. I mean, we didn't even get to the first fib line, right? So I don't really like it a lot as a retrace. I was expecting it to be higher. Now, if you look, but here's the thing: this thing is people don't grasp the scale of how big this is. Like you're just looking, me and you, we're just looking at this chart. We don't understand just how big it is. When you look at a chart, you don't know if it's the size of Mount Everest or if it's the size of a little rock. You just don't know because they're all scaled pretty much the same, right? So if I look side by side here with XLM, right, you can see how big that wave is. Look at there. Here's both of these waves, 4-day chart. But look at see, that's the difference, right? If I go from here all the way up, okay, that's about 1,500%. No big deal, right? Same thing, okay. But if I go up here from down here and then I go up the same wave, right? Same area right there. And I go all the way up. Well, look at that. That's almost 50,000%, guys. That's a huge difference. So that's why I'm saying people don't understand how big the scale is when you're talking about Theta. It's massive. I mean, this thing is huge. I mean, if I put it on linear scale, it's not even going to fit in the chart. I mean, look at this. If I go all the way down here, right, this is where it started out. And then it just went up and 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 up. Up, 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 up. I mean, look at this. This is just insane. Up, 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 up. And up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and oh my God. It's massive, right? So it just puts things in perspective when you look at it in linear scale, right? So you can see here's your long base, right? Here's your bubble, and here's your second base, but this base is on top of this one, and that's what you want, right? So now it's all about, here's our platform, just like this was our platform to explode upon. Here's our platform to explode upon, and that's what we're waiting for. So it could take time, it could take a week, it could take a month, it could take a year. I don't know. I don't think it's going to take a year though. I think it's going to happen. I think we can get this retrace by May. I think we can get up here by May, or even up here by April, May. And then maybe we kind of go sideways all summer, and then October, November, December we finish. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Time is very hard. We already looked at Monero. We looked at HBAR. And did we look at XRP? Yeah, we looked at XRP. Okay, Litecoin. So Litecoin, I think it's very bullish. Like I've said, there's really not much else to say. Again, 3 down, 3 up, 3 back down. Very, very tight range. I mean, it's very respected range. I mean, this here, this here, this here, right here, here, here. I mean, it's really, really, really intricate, and I like it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a 3-way pullback, and then whatever it's doing in here, it's probably chopping around. Maybe we get even a bigger ABC down before going up. I think it's going to be a big one. So let's see if we could zoom in a little bit. One, two, three, four, five, and then you have A, B, or B here, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, or was it 3? Maybe it's only 3. Maybe this is 3, 3, and then this is 3 here, right? And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have an A. Could this be an A, B, C, or is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C? It's finished, and this is 1 of the third. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea, or a bigger ABC here. So, I would like to see if this was a 1 of the third, 2 of the, maybe we get 2 of the third, and then we get third of the third, right? So 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, all of that's 3, then we get 4, then 5 later. So still a lot to do, but progress is being made. So, and then you have coins like Dog, meme coins. Like I said, man, during these times, they're the highest, riskiest plays, and you can see it did set another low here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went ahead and I bought some Dog. So that doesn't mean you should, but I think now is it's gotten beat up pretty severely, because now we know what it is, right? It's a 1, it's an A, it's a B, and a C, and it's a flat. So we have a 1 and a 2. So now we have to create a base, and we have to go up. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more lows. I mean, maybe one more little low, create some divergence in here. I don't know. It's just, it's kind of hard when you're trying to catch a falling knife, but there you go. So, ADA is looking good. Oh, let me check out ADA here. Whoa, ADA just popped out of, dang, what was going on here? It just popped up out of nowhere. Look at that. You also have TIA kind of flagging out in here, like a 1, 2, 1, 2 maybe. Pretty good. Let me see HBAR again. So I thought HBAR is HBAR moving like ADA did? Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Just in the last 5 minutes, I mean, look at this thing is rampaging. So I'm glad I bought some, at least. Damn, I wish I bought more. Whew. I was not positioned right accordingly, because I'm kind of like spread out, you know. I'm like XRP, Litecoin, Monero, I said ADA, XLM, HBAR, Jupiter. So I'm just kind of like, but here's my issue. It could be a flat, you know, it could be a flat here, which means you could come back down in 3 like this later on, and then go up in 5. So that's what we don't know, right? It could be like a 1, 2, 1, 2 and then go up, or it could be a flat 3 up, 3 down and then go up, right? Hopefully not. Hopefully we get up here and then we flag and then we go berserk. So, yeah, I think HBAR had a partnership. Yeah, so right here, Swift partnership opens $150 trillion market for Hedera. Whoa. So there you go. Overtakes Litecoin following swift partnership. Look at that. HBAR poised, so it looks really good for HBAR. So let's see if this thing is sustainable. We've been talking about HBAR for a long time and saying exactly how bullish it is, right? I mean, look at the flat. You could see the flat. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 in the fifth, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A. I mean, just as long as we can count waves, we can chart. And if we can chart, we can make money. If we can make money, we don't have to deal with someone telling us what to do, right? We can stay home all day in our pajamas. Like right now, I'm just like in some gym shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not in no suit or tie or uniform, right? Although it is Saturday, but even still. Man, I don't miss working. I remember having to drive, through the Cajon, and it's, a lot of traffic. A lot of traffic going to work, and it sucked. Especially when it's raining and stuff. Takes forever to get there. And then I had to drive home, right? So it took me 2 hours out of my day just to work 8 hours. So I had to invest 2 hours plus gas to work 8 hours. So really it was like a 10-hour day, right? And that was just on a regular day, not counting overtime. A lot of times where I had to cover people, it could be 12, 14, 15-hour days. We don't, just depends. But that's why I say for many people out there, just keep working the job. Keep working the job and adding the paycheck, right? So, that's why, like, if it was me and I was still working and I still was building my portfolio, I would actually hope and pray that it didn't moonshot. I would hope and pray that it would take another 2 years to moonshot, right? Everybody who's working, they want it to go up now. Let's go up today. Let's go up. But if you go up, then that's what you have. Are you happy with what you have? Or do you want to work more to get more paychecks, to stack more coins, right? Because that's what it's about. It's not about the dollars, it's about the coins. How many coins can you stack in a year working at a 9-to-5 job? And if you do that year in and year out, right, over time you're going to have a big, massive portfolio. But if the price explodes, then it's going to be almost impossible for you to do that. So you hope and you pray that it stays down here for as long as possible. That way you can add and stack and then eventually it goes up, right? So that would be, that's kind of how I've been playing it, because I've been working my job, from 2017 when I got into crypto all the way up to 2021. So I worked, I worked longer than that, but from the time I got into crypto was all of 17, 18, 19, 20, and then 21. So I worked for 5 years, right? So I was all in crypto, right? So that's 5 years worth of paychecks. I still had mortgage and bills and things like that, but from whatever I saved, I put it into crypto, right? I didn't go out and eat fancy dinners. I didn't go to concerts. I didn't go traveling. I didn't go to amusement parks. I didn't go to all these things, right? I lived cheap, right? I didn't have expensive dinners, right? I lived as cheap as I possibly could because I knew if I sacrificed now, I can enjoy my life later on, right? So, it's kind of hard to do that, especially when you're married and with somebody and, you want to do the right thing, but you also want to be strict with your money, because every dollar, like let's say I go out and eat and it cost me $30, right? Let's say at some restaurant or something. Okay. So that $30 that I spent could have been put into XRP at 50 cents. And now that $30 is now worth $150. So that dinner I had, I have to ask myself in the future, is this dinner going to be worth $150 in 5 years? The answer is no. So why would I eat it, right? So think about that. Every dollar you spend could be a dollar that you put into crypto. And you go, oh, it's just a dollar. Yeah, but a dollar today could cost you millions in the future. You see what I mean? So, like for me, XRP, this was our reaccumulation area. And this is where I was buying hardcore, right? And I'm glad it lasted this long. Because when we got to here, I was like, okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Right? And I wanted it, but I knew it wasn't going to happen because we didn't get 3. And I'm glad it didn't happen because now the more paychecks, right? And by this time I was already out of a job. If I can replay it, I would have actually kept my job for 2 extra years and then quit, right? And I would have just gave me even more money, right? So again, do you want a $300 toy that you've been eyeing, or a new pair of shoes, or these expensive Jordans, or the new iPod, or whatever they got? Or, because let's say you buy a $500 whatever, a game or an Xbox, or I mean, who knows, a TV or whatever. That is going to cost you way more money in the future because the money you spent on, let's say it's a TV or something, you could have put that money towards, let's say you bought XRP at 50 cents. Well, that $500 is now worth, what is it? So let's ask Grok, right? I said, Grok, hey, if a coin is 50 cents and I bought $500 worth, how many would I have? Well, I would have 1,000 coins. Okay. So would you rather have that TV or that new pair of shoes or 1,000 coins? Now, here's the thing. All of those other things are going to go down in value, right? But the XRP coins, right? Now we're sitting at $2.50. Well, guess what? That $500 is now worth $2,500. And all you had to do was just wait. So that expensive dinner, that expensive TV, that whatever, I'm not saying live like a peasant, but you got to be conscious about what we spend, right? Because if we're not going to be a famous musician or an actor or a rap star or a rock star, or a famous neurosurgeon or even a hedge fund manager. Maybe some of you guys, right? But for most people, we just have simple lives. We work, family, things like that, right? So in order to get to that level, you're going to need a lot of money, right? You're going to need to be rich. The only way to get rich is invest. And the only investment I see is crypto, right? So all my extra dollars go into crypto because it's not like people think that when they spend money on crypto, you're not spending it. You're investing it, right? It's going to come back to you. So, and let's say it was at 50 cents. And then, you could say, well, it could be the opposite. It could drop down to 20 cents. And that is true, but you have to have a time horizon, right? If it drops in 20 cents within a year, that's just 1 year, right? But eventually, over the next 5, 6, 7 years, it should go way higher. And it all depends what you pick, too. So, anyways, I just, I'm just letting you know, like, you could be, most people want to be successful in crypto. Everybody wants to be successful in crypto, right? And everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? And the only way you could do that is if you invest and you are patient, because crypto is the only vehicle that can get you to be a millionaire. You go, yeah, but I don't have enough coins. I'll never be a millionaire. Maybe I can make 6 figures if I'm lucky, but I'll never be. No, you will, right? Remember, crypto's not going anywhere. We're going to have multiple cycles, right? Let's say you had $10,000 right here. We break out and now you got, let's say, $30,000 or $40,000 or even 50, right? And you can say, well, that's still not enough. That's not life changing. I mean, I could buy a car, I could put a down payment on a house, and that's great. Or you could take that 50 and sell it and hold it. Don't sell it. Don't just live cheap. Live cheap. Live with your parents if you have to. If I could go back in time, I'd live with my dad for longer, right? I could, you know what I mean? And then just maybe they don't charge you a lot of rent, right? And you can just build up as much as you can. And then, this is not financial advice, by the way. I'm just I'm just saying what I've done and how I did it. And eventually you get a big portfolio, right? And then eventually you're going to get a bear market, and that might take another several years, right? But during those years, you're stacking your coins, you're stacking your coins, you don't care that it's going down. You're stacking, right? You're stacking. Or you're dollar cost averaging, right? Then we kind of level off, and then we start going back up, right? And then that 40,000, you sold it, right? And then you're still adding to it, and maybe you were able to build it up to about $45,000 worth of cash. You redeploy it, and then you go on another bull cycle. And during that bull cycle, you're still earning paycheck, right? Not saying your whole paycheck, but whatever you have left over, if anything at all, during all of this inflation, right? And then you do that year after year after year, cycle after cycle after cycle. Maybe it takes 10 years. Maybe it takes 20 years. But think about that for a second. If you could be a millionaire in the next 20 years, wouldn't you do it? Anybody would do it. If you walked up to any of your neighbors, anybody on the street, and said, hey, guess what? In 20 years, you could be a millionaire, and I could show you exactly how. People would say, you're crazy. But it could actually happen a lot faster. Because think about it. If you're making $15, $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour, maybe only $10 an hour, right? And every paycheck you get, you're putting 5% into crypto, or even 2%. Year after year after year after year after year after year. Let's say it takes 10 years. Let's say it takes 15 years. Whatever it is, it is. Because eventually you will hit that big number. And then you keep hodling, you keep investing. Crypto keeps going up because people are adopting. Remember, we're still very early. We don't have regulation. We don't have adoption. We're in a speculative market, not a utility market, right? So utility drives adoption. Adoption only comes with regulation. So you should be thankful that we don't have regulations yet, because the central banks are delaying it for their CBDC. But it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because by them delaying it allows us to buy more in the time that we have. Some of us get in early, some of us get in late, but it's never too late, because we're always going to have crypto. We're always going to have cycles. It's just like the stock market. If you were born in 1992 or 1995 or whatever, and then you grew up and you had a job, and then you invest in the stock market, well, guess what? That stock market has been going on for over 100 years, right? So do people who grow up say, oh, I missed it, because the stock market's been going, even if you were born in the 80s, and you grow up, the stock market's been going on for a long time. So it's not like you missed it, because overall the stock market goes up over time. And that's exactly what it's going to be for crypto. Now, you're going to have diminishing returns. The returns aren't going to be as high as they are this cycle. But for some of these altcoins, they will be, right? There'll still be new coins that come out in the next 5 years, or maybe in 7 years, there's a coin that comes out and you buy it and it goes up 10,000% and boom, you're instantly a millionaire. So as long as you're in the game, you're going to earn the points. So it's not like people invest in crypto and then they walk away. No, it's like a gang. It's a blood gang. Once you're in it for life. That's it. As soon as you put your first $100 into crypto and you turn that sucker into $200, you just bit the bug. The bug just bit you, and that's it. It's game over, right? So now you're in crypto for life. You're going to be 92 years old looking at the price of XRP, right? Sitting in your big old mansion, all right? And as long as, there's no secret to success. It's just really discipline, Am I where I want to be? No. I still got a long ways to go. But is the strategy that I'm implementing for myself working? Absolutely. I never would have thought in a million years I would be where I am today with no job and sitting on a lot of coins, especially XRP. Like I've said many, 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 many times, XRP is my biggest holding, and here are the reasons why. I made those videos several times. And since this move, I mean, it's been great. It's been life-changing. It's been awesome, right? Now, do I have a fancy house? No, I don't even own a house. I'm living with my brother-in-law, and I pay $300 a month in rent. Okay? My wife does too. But I love it because it's a massive house. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a water bill, electric bill, right? Why? Because I don't want those things. Why don't I want it? Because I want all my extra cash going into crypto. Why? Because I know this is the only opportunity that I have. Because as you progress in time, you're going to have diminishing returns. Like I've said before, I sold my house in 21. No, the summer of 22. I sold my house. That was a year after my son was born. I sold my house. I bought it in 2015 for $200,000. I sold it in 22 for $415,000. There was some roof damage, and I had to pay for that, but I still made out really, 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 really well. And I lived there for 7 years, from 15 to 22. And I had a good amount of equity in it. And I walked away with a good amount of money. And the reason why is because interest rates were going up during that time. Inflation was going up. So I wanted to get out of the market. First of all, my house doubled in value in 7 years. And I'm a trader. I took the profit. So now I'm sitting on the cash, living with my brother-in-law, living as cheap as possible, right? And I'm stacking, and I'm stacking, and I'm stacking. And with the money that I sold the house, I'm sitting on that. Plus, I invested some of that money down here. And I've told this story before. I'm telling it again. The reason why is because my story, I believe, could help somebody. And the reason why is because of doubt, right? Doubt, self-doubt. Oh, I'll never get there. Oh, look at this guy. He has this. I'll never have that. No. You can have that. You can get there. Trust me. As long as you have a job, you're good, right? That's why I could buy a house right now, right? I could live with my wife and son in a beautiful house. I choose not to do it. Why? Because the money that I would put down on a house is money that I'm taking away from a golden opportunity. Look where XRP is at, guys. When we're down here, I don't want to own a house. Why? Because it's so cheap. It's so undervalued. Now we're sitting right at price discovery, right? This is the biggest base in crypto history, right? We've been going sideways for 7 years, and we're right at the verge of a big breakout. Why would I go spend all my money on a house? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to hold my money. I'm going to wait. I'm not in a rush. I don't mind living here. I love living here. I mean, basically the size of our bedroom is basically we turned basically this room is a game room. I'm actually in our room right now. This is a game room, and we turned it into a bedroom. So some people call it a loft. Some people call it a game room, right? But it's a massive room upstairs, and we built a wall and we put a door. So now it's like a full-on bedroom, and it's huge. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for him for letting us stay here. And yeah, every dollar. And the reason I did that is because I'm not ready. I could have just stayed at my old house, but I didn't want to. I wanted to sell it because I made basically the house doubled in value. So I sold it. You know what I mean? It's like you buy something for $10 and then it goes to $20. I sold it. I made $10. I made 100% of my money. So same thing with a house, right? That wasn't my dream house. That wasn't the house I wanted to live in forever. So I wasn't upset about it. Most people, they buy a house, they live in it, and they'll sell it and they'll buy another house. For me, but if I didn't have that option, for moving in, then I probably wouldn't have done it. But since I had that option, I was able to do it. Now, for some people, it could be moving in with their mom and dad or moving in with a friend, right? Get 3 roommates and split the rent and try to save as much as you can and put that savings into crypto. And think about it like it's going to suck, right? It's going to suck. You got to soldier through it. You got to be strong. You got to sacrifice so that you can live what you want to live in the future. Make sacrifices today so you can have what you want for tomorrow. So anyway, I digress. And I'll tell you more about all of this and how the story, there's aspects to the story that I'm saying that I haven't quite included yet, and you'll understand later on, but that'll be for another day. But basically the reason I'm saying this, my message to you, if you're not happy with what you have, how many coins you have, or it doesn't matter what the value is, right? You can have 10,000 coins valued at this, or 10 coins valued at that. It doesn't matter what the value is. It matters how many coins you have, right? If you're not happy with that, then you need to buy more. And if you don't have any money to buy more, then you need to work more. Then that means you need time. Time is actually your best friend. If you're not happy with how many, because I know what you guys do. You get your calculator out and you say, okay, I got 20,000 XRP. And if 20,000 XRP goes to $8 to $10, I'm going to have, X amount of money. So if you're not happy with what you have, you need time. If you are happy with what you have, then you don't need anything, right? So, the longer in time we go into the future, the more paychecks you get, the more the more crypto you can buy, the more percentages you'll make later on. But again, there's variables and there's risk. There's a lot of risk. There is a lot of risk involved, right? Because you don't know exactly which ones are going to do, which ones are going to make it, which ones are going to fail. You know what I mean? So there's always risk. But if you have the conviction that crypto is here to stay and crypto is the future, then you should have no problem dealing with the volatility, dealing with, not having the luxury of of whatever, making sacrifices to get what you want, right? Because don't think about yourself. It's not about you. It's about your future self. It's about you in 10 years from now. It's about you in 20 years from now. right? So always position yourself for your future self. Anyways, that's not financial advice, just my ranting opinion, and that should wrap it up for this video. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.